Hey, good morning, everyone. I think I'm going to change some of the script that I actually prepared earlier. This is the last speaker's feedback, okay? Um, Now I'm going to ensure that I have to really, I think that I don't know Microsoft over the last 11 years as my friend Suresh knows about it. And one thing that I'm definitely going to, learn and start knowing about this from the last speaker's learning is, I would say, is Microsoft and IMCP is one. It definitely is one community, and it is something that I'm really, really proud of it. So thanks, Suresh, for calling out some of the gaps. If there is some gaps, and I think I owe for it, and I should definitely ensure that that gap is completely not there going forward, right? So thanks a lot for that feedback. Before I start, I have one question for everyone. How many of you are Copilot users? Wow, that's good, that's good, that's good. They still have a lot of potential over there. But thanks a lot for this. I'm sure that you're as excited as I am on the video that we saw. Is it so? Did you get excited about those two videos? I think Microsoft has done, marketing of Microsoft has done a fantastic job in those two advertisements. We launched Copilot on CSP, which date? Oh, distributors, okay. 16 Jan. Yeah, we launched on 16 Jan. My next question is not for the distributors, but I do have a beautiful Copilot t-shirt to give it to you if you can answer that. Please raise your hand before you answer. We didn't do any marketing from 16th of Jan to 30th of Jan. We didn't do anything, right? And can you please tell me how many Copilot seats we would have sold in India in SMB? Just a guess. 3,000. Sorry, who said that? 3,000. 3,000? Sorry? Oh my God, I would love to win that stage. I would love to win that stage, and that's when Suresh will tell me it's not India and South Asia, it's going to be Asia region. Not only India and South Asia, right? It's not 100K, guys. 100K is, by the way. 10K? Ashish is the guy. He came very, very close to it. It is basically 963 seats that we sold in SMB across 113 customers. But what really excited me about that was it was only 8 working days and no marketing at all from us. It was the brand Copilot, which got created over a period of time, and that's really got that pull up for all our customers and partners to go and buy it, right? And with this, we actually came out with something called as Customer Zero. Anyone who can help me understand what's Customer Zero? Any guess on Customer Zero? Customer Zero? Copilot, Customer Zero. Partners perfect. It is not. It is you, or as a partner or a customer, use it fast before you really go and start selling it up. You will not be able to really recognize the value or acknowledge the real content power of Copilot unless you start going and using it up, right? So that's a Customer Zero. We all started using it first before we started actually even talking about Copilot to the market. There is a reason why we didn't started selling it more than 300 users earlier, less than 300 users earlier, or beyond a particular licensing format, right? Because we really wanted to test and take some of those feedback that is coming on the product, on the solution, to launch it on the CSP. But right now, it's available all across all the products. My sincere request is for the partners who have not raised the hand over here on the users of the Copilot, be a Customer Zero. Please start using it for yourself. Buy only one quantity. It's not available on free. I guess you will have to go and buy that. So that's a little bit of a change on the script. Let me first start. I'm really, really excited today to be here with this wonderful community of IMCP member, right? For me, I think IMCP chapter started about 6 years back. Well, for Microsoft, it's always been a very close entity. But for me, it started about 6 years back, and Suresh spoke about that award, right? It was in one of the Inspire when I first met the entire IMCP team from both India as well as from other countries, right? There was if Suresh remembers, he was on the top of his voice that time. And that was a small gathering over there between the people of the different countries. And Umang Agnihotri, if you guys know, he was my close colleague. He was the one who was nominated for that award. And then I asked Umang, what is this all IMCP all about, right? And he said, hey, look, and that was the time when I was also moving into a different role, which was partner development manager role. And then he said, hey, look, if you really want to understand about solution partners, if you really want to understand about partners who are passionate about Microsoft business, then you start better engaging with this partner, right? So I really want to thank from bottom of my heart to each of this IMCP member for your contribution, for your participation, for your partnership with Microsoft, and helping us build solution on top of Microsoft CSP offering specifically, because I am SMB, so I'll talk a little bit selfish there, SMB perspective. So thanks a lot for building the solution and selling this as one Microsoft to our customers. So once again, thanks a lot, team. Really, really proud of this partnership. In this FY24, we did a lot of good events with IMCP across different branches, right? Microsoft branches, offices, as well as you represented us in some of these forums, which was AI Tour, which happened in Mumbai. You see some of those photographs here. You also represented us in a leadership meeting, as he spoke about it, which is basically both Asia leadership team of Microsoft, Michele, who leads SMB business for Asia. You also represented us in a meeting with Kevin, who is the president for Microsoft for small and medium corporate business, right? So I really want to take an opportunity to thank each one of you for partnership with Microsoft. Today I'm going to talk about the aha moment, right, which is AI, right? And but before we get into what's this aha moment and why it's so talked about, right? It's important for us to really understand where it is coming from. We need to understand what the industrial revolution is happening and the impact of technology revolution on the GDP of the country, right? For any country. So if you really look at this chart, starting from couple of centuries before, right, when the first industrial revolution happened, it was all about steam power and mechanization of production environment. Right? From there, it moved primarily to printing press, then electrification. Within the printing press, when it happened, it itself was a huge revolution. But some of these countries actually went and rejected this adoption of printing press. But sooner they realized that the impact of printing press, the impact of this technology over the GDP was very, very significant, right? And then the story began. Fast forward to 100 years, in the last 40, 50 years, you would have witnessed there's a huge changes that's happening in the technology, right? With the evolution of the computers, with the evolution of mobile, internet, the huge change, right, in the technology, what happened with the internet as well as mobile, we got an exposure globally. Right? And what it gave us was nothing but an opportunity in terms of services, an opportunity in terms of a platform. Services could be an example, could be an email, and platform could be social media. Platform could be your e-commerce platform, right? An online platform. Let's look at what's the impact of this advanced technology with respect to the GDP of any country. So if you really look at the bottom line, bottom of this graph, it's a beautiful reflection of the economy and the GDP growth multiplier over the centuries, right? So as the adoption of the technology has increased, the GDP growth multiplier has increased from 4x from 1800 years to today to 20x. One thing is the conclusion of it, very, very clear that the change of technology, the adoption of the technology, the more it has grown, it has accelerated the economy of any country, right? What happened next? The fourth revolution. What's the fourth revolution all about? Fourth revolution. Sorry? Yeah, it's all about automation. It's all about robotics. It's all about generative AI, right? And let's look at some of those adoption that's happening. It took about 16 years for mobile phone, right, to reach 100 million users. Today, we can't even live without mobile phones, right? It took about 7 years for internet to reach 100 million users. It took about 4.5 years for Facebook to reach 100 million users. And what has happened in ChatGPT? It took only 3 months to reach 100 million users. That's the kind of adoption that's happening, which is real in the AI world, right? Welcome to the AI world. The era of AI is here, and I'm so proud. I'm so proud today. And if I have to really pronounce, stating that Microsoft is the leading edge of this AI innovation today, and you as a partner definitely has an edge to become a leader in the AI today because we are way, way ahead of any other competition. This statement is true statement. This statement very, very powerful for each of the partner community member over here. Right? Since the time we launched AI, which was about less than a year back, right, our offerings on AI is a phenomenal response. Phenomenal response we saw from our customers, the startups, our ISVs, and the entire partner ecosystem. There's a great response from each of this ecosystem on AI, whether they're trying to develop or solve a particular problem using AI. If ISV is trying to take the potential of AI and building up a large language model to find a user-friendly experience for his customers. Right? There are so many startups who have reached out to us to ensure that they are able to integrate their solution to scale using AI. As Satya says, we are in the midst of massive platform shift with the new generation of AI that's going to transform every sector and every category of computing. And the shift has already started. Right? This shift isn't very far. It's not that people said that it's going to be there for, it's not going to be there for next 4 years, or it's not going to be there for next couple of years. The shift is happening right now. And AI is empowering every individual, every team, and every industry in this planet to achieve more. What it really means for you, this is an opportunity for every partner over here to start engaging with Microsoft, start building your solutions on top of AI. Microsoft Cloud is enabling AI transformation in 3 key ways. First, in the simple thing that we have done is we have created or we are integrating generative AI in everything and every solution that we work, every solution that we have, whether it is data and AI, whether it is infrastructure, whether it's security, whether it's M365. Copilot is a beautiful example which is there in every possible SKUs, right? But if you talk about M365 Copilot, GitHub Copilot, or D365 Copilot, we have integrated generative AI. So that's one key feature that you will see from Microsoft from an AI perspective. The second and the most important one is going to be AOAI, right? Which is Azure Open AI, where we are really making it easy for our customers to integrate their AI offering, right, and expand their AI offering on Microsoft platform. Right? And we are enabling them to use the same framework that Microsoft used to build our own Copilots. I was recently in Bangkok where we had this SMC meet. China is also part of our Asia team today. And China does not have a Copilot. They don't have a Copilot, right, based on the country's political way of working there. But partners are very sharp there. What they have done is that because they have an Azure AI, they have built their own Copilot to address the business needs of their set of customers. That's the opportunity which is available for all partners here. Identify a small need of your customers, work with Microsoft ISV team to build your own AI solutions or a Copilot solution. Third is the most important thing that you will see from Microsoft is as we co-innovate along with our partner, we will do it with complete trust. We will follow the same policies that we used to do with our other Microsoft product offering, which is security, privacy, and compliance. We will use all this from the start of this product in every generative AI solutions. Let me share with you some of the interesting data facts. We started, as I said, about last 9 months, 10 months now on the AI part of it. We have done some survey, some of the reviews that is got, and it's so interesting to see these numbers, right? 87% of the organizations believe AI will get them a competitive advantage. And how is this relevant for each one of you here is, this will give you an opportunity to really reach out to net new customers and add net new customers for yourself. It gives an opportunity for you to really go and help customers to move them from a cloud, on-premise to a cloud environment, right? And why on-premise to cloud? Because the fuel of the AI is data. And data, the true scale of the data relies only on the cloud because you get both on-premise data as well as the web data. 64% of the people have struggled to actually go and complete their day-to-day job within the 8 hours, like you and me, right? There are so many emails. If you look at my inbox, I've still not even looked at it, right? So, and that is true for 64% people who accepts that, hey, look, 8 hours is not even sufficient for us to really go and do a good job, productive job, right? The 3x time post-pandemic, the use of Teams or the other virtual meetings have increased to 3x, which means there is going to be a lot of overlap between the different meetings that's going to happen for you guys, which means there is going to be some meeting which you are going to miss, right? 70% of the people share that they would delegate the work after using the AI. Most of the developers came back and said they want to really avoid the redundant job. They want to avoid something which is going to be not productive for them, or if this is something that can be, it's a repetitive one which can be solved for, right? And the last one is the most interesting one. Someone said that they are going to lose a job with an AI. That's not true. That's not true. If you look at it, the data says that 2x likelihood of a leader is to say AI will provide more productivity in terms to the people rather than head counts, right? This brings me to share with you the final opportunity. What is the overall opportunity for AI, specifically on the Copilot? Overall, it's about 190 million. For India, for H2, it is 238,000 users, 238,000 seats, which is for eligible SKUs. Right? Eligible SKUs are basically business premium, business standard, E3, E5, A3, A5. Right? So those are the SKUs which is eligible. There are about 238,000 seats, which is an opportunity for you to really go and sell those customers and help them attach Copilot seats. Let me talk about how you really can drive a conversation with a customer on a business value proposition of a Copilot. 3 ways. One is we talk about all of value of a overall solution. All of value for an organization primarily means how a Copilot can impact the bottom line of the organization. Right? Value by workflow primarily means is how Copilot will really go and support the different application, Microsoft application, whether it is Teams, whether it is your Word, Excel, PowerPoint. How are they going to really impact it and save the time efficiency of a person, of an organization? And finally, how is Copilot is going to impact by role and function? We'll talk about a little bit more. The first one is about all of value. When I talk about all of value, it primarily means that how are we really going to make the organization more efficient by saving time, right? How are we going to create a more business value for the organization? This is a beautiful example which primarily talks about a Copilot of $30, which you guys have not bought. Okay, but a Copilot of $30 needs to save only about 54 minutes per month or per employee to give an ROI, and to give an ROI which is kind of a break-even. Right? But if you look at a little more than a break-even, it's about 1 hour where you get an ROI of about 12%. But it will be good if you can save it about 2.5 hours per month. You will get an ROI of about 180%. If you are able to, if any particular employee is able to save about 2.5 hours using Copilot, then the ROI will be 180%. You know what's the outcome of it? Again, one T-shirt. In the last 9 months, we have done a survey which gave us a final number of how much a best user of a Copilot has been able to save time. Guess. Hours, in terms of hours? 4, okay, 2, okay, this is the answer. 10 hours. So just calculate the ROI. It's phenomenal. And hence, customer zero, guys. And whatever I'm going to talk about those numbers is not going to be relevant unless and until you try it out, unless and until you really use it, right? This is the saving that you will find when you start using this. And this is for an individual. When you have an organization which has multiple different people working along with each other, using multiple different applications, the data flow is going to be high, which will even give you much, much, much better outcome, right? That's one part of it. Let's look at the second part of it, right? Which people who have used would have definitely endorsed these 4 things. One is effective meetings. I give you an example of the number of meetings that's getting increased, right? 3x per week for Teams post-pandemic, right? Now, if I'm a sales guy, I have to go and meet a customer outside at the same time of Microsoft meeting, which is going to happen, talk about some enablement on AI. How do I ensure that I get both the things done, right? Copilot will help me when I come back and look at Copilot will help me giving the clear summary of what the meeting happened, what is the takeaway from the meeting, and what if there is any action pending at my end. My job is done. Well, I've met the customer. At the same time, I know what that meeting was all about. I have the details about what is the next plan of action on that meeting. Data analysis is something really, really useful for an Excel user, primarily for all financial CEOs and financial organization, right? If the data which he's using on an Excel can give a much better insight on what data is all about so that the decision makers can take the right decision, right? And Excel throws up now a beautiful, Copilot on Excel actually throws up a beautiful analysis of anything that you ask for. It could relate to formulas. It could relate to a most presentable format of the data for any of your meetings, right? Third is the content creation. Again, content creation relates to a couple of things. I can give an example. One is, let's take an RFP for, and one of the partners just gave me an example in the AI tool, right? If you have to participate in a government RFP, you have to really work on about 54, 60 pages of a document if you're lucky and you have enough time to read through those documents, right? Copilot helped him to solve this within 5 minutes. It gave them a clear points of what are the key contents that is required. Right? What are the key areas that he needs to respond, and whether, basis his organization skills and capabilities, whether he can participate there or not. Second could be a beautiful example where if an organization, if your customer is planning to go for a new project, right? Which means that, say, example, if you want to know about the potential of AI in India, right? You will have to really go and search and spend a lot of days to build that content. On a Word Copilot, you just go and write, create a document, create a story about the AI potential. You will get the end-to-end details about that in a Word format. Now, if you really want to present this up, you need it in the PowerPoint fashion, right? Just you save this Word file and connect the link or share the link on the PowerPoint. You will get your PPT ready within, again, a minute's time. So that's the power of the content creation that you can see on the Copilot. Email processing, people like me who has 11,000 unread emails, for us it's kind of huge boon, right? Because we have to read so many emails and go through complete list of emails, right? It's really challenging today. Now using Copilot, what we can do is basically to go through, ask for a summary of which email that I really want to respond to. A lot of them are just FYI for me. I don't need to really know about it, right? So that's the job that Copilot is doing to deliver more efficiency in the ecosystem and save time. Impact by function, right? I spoke about impact by a workflow. Impact by function is HR. I'll give you a couple of examples here. HR, their key job is basically to create talent within the organization, right? That means they need to have a good job profiles. They need to create the right policies for the organization. That means they have to go through a lot of data points to ensure that they are creating a lot of policies. Just imagine that Copilot comes in handy for these guys. What Copilot is going to do? Copilot is going to help them create a job description. If you say the job description, create a job description for a senior programmer, and you get it in a minute's time, right? It actually avoids the duplication and redundancy of the work. Take an example of sales. Most of us are sales guys here, or have at least started their journey from a sales perspective, right? The key thing that you need is basically sales planning, forecast accuracy, right? If you use Copilot, it primarily helps to give the trend of how your numbers have been for the last couple of years and whether you are taking the right forecasting or the forecasting needs to be improved, right? So Sales Copilot really helps us to address that part of it. Finance, again, I spoke about it earlier. Finance, it gives a more data insights of a typical Excel outcomes, right? Moving on, time savings are just the beginning. It is more than time saving. I did spoke about some of those time saving, but it is all about people, right? It's all about improving the efficiency of individual, right? It's all about how you are able to free up the time and allow the people to really come out with their innovative thoughts and ideas to ensure that they're free to work, they are able to utilize their time better, right? Last, I just want to end this session by talking about a beautiful theme that emerged in India, and that started by our managing director, which is Puneet. He said, we are the right time at the right place. Right? India is doing incredible job. It's an unstoppable India, and I'm going to talk about why we are saying so. We are in an era which is an unstoppable AI. We are in an era which is where you are unstoppable. I will talk about unstoppable India, while my colleague will talk about unstoppable AI and unstoppable you during the day today. Unstoppable India. India is no longer incredible, but it's credible also. Why are we saying so? Just look at these numbers from a demand perspective. Phenomenal. 99,000 startups exist in India. 99,000. 100 unicorns. And the AI, you see 60 Gen AI startups already existing in the last 1 year. 63 million SMEs. That's a government data. By the way, tax-paying SMEs are about 8.5 million. That's a phenomenal amount of customer which is available for us in India. And we are heading towards 1 trillion economy. From a supply side, if you really look at, there are about 215,000 students who are getting graduated every year on computer science. Right? And it is approximately about 16% of the overall global AI talent. Right? We have built fantastic solution at a much lower cost. Aadhaar is a beautiful example. Right? One of the beautiful solutions that was built, which is the largest biometric system in the world at $1 per person cost. So we have a huge talent in India, which is making it as unstoppable India, and we are heading towards a 5 trillion economy. Our goal should be that how can we really cater to the larger pie of that 10% which is generative AI. Right? By the way, this 10% is for overall numbers when you look at it. For SMB is going to be 30%. Contribution is going to come from generative AI because most of the startups are part of an SMB ecosystem. So you will see that's going to contribute a large part of it from a generative AI economy. Right? So this is your leadership movement. This is a leadership opportunity for you to come along with Microsoft and build your solution on generative AI. Thanks a lot for this moment. Thank you.